May you be seated. The bereaved Bhebhe family, the First Lady, Dr. Axila Mnangagwa, the Vice President, Honorable General Retired Dr. C. Gideon Chiwenga and Amai Chiwenga, the Vice President, Honorable Colonel Retired KCD Mohadi, the Chairman of ZANPF and the Minister of Defense, Honorable CZ Chinguri Kashiri, the Speaker of Parliament, Advocate Jeff Mdenda, President of the Senate, Honorable Mai Chinomwana, the Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Luka Malawa, the Minister of State for Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable Charles Tawengwa, members of the Central Committee and the Politburo of the ruling party ZANPF, Honorable Cabinet Ministers of the Central Committee who are here, President of the National Chiefs Council, Honorable Senator Chief Mchane Kumalo, and other traditional leaders, Mazmavedu Kanavaripano, Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. Rishwaya, other leaders of political parties who may be here, which I doubt. Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Ungwe, senior government officials, Commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, General Philip Valerio Swanda, service chiefs, veterans of the liberation struggle, fellow mourners, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. We gather here at the National Heroes Acre to lay to rest another gallant and distinguished son of Zimbabwe, Professor Ngwabi Mourns Bhebhe, who passed on 17 November at the Midlands Private Hospital after a short illness. We have been robbed of a patriot, a nationalist by excellency, a long-serving higher education administrator, a historian, a scholar of high repute and a global standing. His passing on came soon after we lost celebrated scholars such as Dr. Robson Mafoti and Dr. Gibson Mandishona, who were authors of several groundbreaking research projects in our motherland, Zimbabwe. We grieve these losses. On behalf of the people and government of Zimbabwe, our nation, the Revolutionary Party ZANPF, the academic community, my family, and indeed on my own behalf, I once again express my deep heartfelt condolences to the Bhebhe family for this sad loss. May you find solace and comfort in that the entire nation joins you in mourning. The late national hero, Professor Bhebhe, was a long-serving intellectual and academic. His rich history is a record of merit and immense success, particularly in the field of higher education. We credit to his name numerous frameworks which have laid a firm foundation and contributed to the sound administration of our higher education sector. The caliber and the professionalism of the students and the staff that went under the tutelage of the late Professor Bhebhe are a testimony that Tumbare, as he was fondly known, was a great mentor and a wise teacher. A considerable number are now serving in senior positions within the administration of our institutions of higher learning, both in government and beyond. As the founding Vice Chancellor of Mourns State University, his name became synonymous with that dynamic national institution where yesterday witnessed the graduation of over 8,000 students. I recall with fond memories how the late national hero, Comrade Richard Kenneth Bhebhe, myself, and Professor Bhebhe, and later the late national hero, Comrade Sifas Msipa, conceptualized the establishment of Mourns State University. I remember the vigor and intensity planning debates, which usually took place through obstacles to author the founding charter and the successful establishment of that institution, the Mourns University. As a result of the astute leadership of the late Professor Bhebhe, the Mourns State University now occupies a place of pride among the national and regional higher education ecosystem. With the thousands and thousands of distinguished alumni. Beyond the academia, the late national hero, Professor Bhebhe, played his part to advance the prosecution of our war of liberation. He was part of a court of nationalist academics based in regional universities who never saw their stay in foreign lands as an excuse to avoid responsibilities to the raging armed liberation struggle unfolding back home. Through the mobilization of diplomatic support and material resources, he was part of a student corps that were instrumental in advancing the objectives of the liberation struggle under the banner of the Patriotic Front. His contemporaries in the struggle include the late heroes such as Professor Phineas Makurani, Dr. Stanislas Gorerazo Mudenge, and Professor Walt Kamba, among others. Others in this group include distinguished public servants, such as the former Chief Secretary, Dr. Mishek Swanda, and the former Director General of the President's Department, Dr. Alec Mashingaite. These and other renowned nationalist academics committed their time, skills, and resources to the sustenance of our struggle for independence. They balanced their quest for academic excellence with the weighty obligation demanded of them before and after independence. They never used their intellectual and academic prowess to denigrate our motherland. Vakaramba vari mugwara rokuda nokuremekedza nyika yokwavo. This is how it should be. I challenge our people, especially the youth, to always take pride in being Zimbabwean and being African above all. No matter how educated you are, you remain African and black. Our intellectual and academic prowess must be deployed to advance our national development agenda and to lift our people out of poverty into prosperity. Nyika inovakwa, ikotonga, ikonamatirwa, nevenevayo. Ilizwe lakiwa libuswe, likulekelwe ngabanikazi balo. Azisanduki izozo. My fellow mourners, the late national hero Professor Bhebhe was born on 15 August 1942 in Mberengwa district, Midlands province. After completing secondary education at Chegato High School, the late Professor Bhebhe became a temporal teacher in history. In 1967, he graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in History and Geography from the then University of Botswana, Lesotho, and Swaziland. Our armed struggle had an ideological component upon which an oppressed case had to be made and articulated while building strong revolutionary alliances and mobilizing the world's conscience against colonialism. Our late national hero became part of the pioneering court of black Zimbabwean historians to acquire Doctor of Philosophy degree. In 1972, he was awarded a PhD in Imperial History at the University of London. Ipapa pakazofunda Imperial History. Topaita garati pesana kata kumwa. The late Professor Bhebhe's area of research specialization was informed by his commitment to unmasking the numerous misfortunes that had befallen the African people at the onset of foreign colonial rule. Alongside other historians and intellectuals from various fields, the late Professor Bhebhe became an intellectual resource to the liberation struggle. His scholarly efforts were deeply rooted in amplifying political awareness among our people. My fellow mourners, comrades, and friends, Our state and nationhood are underwritten by the blood that was shed during the War of National Armed Liberation. This foundational process should permeate our thinking, our deeds, and our identity as a nation, while helping us to continue consolidating our alliances with friendly nations within our region and beyond. In 1974, Professor Bhebhe lectured at Farah Bay College in Sierra Leone, which was a key institution that supported the fight against colonial oppression. Later, he relocated to Southern Africa and joined the teaching staff at the University of Botswana, Lesotho, and Swaziland in 1975. He later rose to become Dean of Humanities at the Swaziland campus. After the attainment of independence in 1980, Professor Bhebhe lectured at the University of Zimbabwe from 1982 to 1998. He remained committed to the nationalist cause as a nation builder, academic and astute administrator in our universities and the higher education sector at large. As we march forward towards Vision 2030, the understanding of our rich history and the literal works articulating our chosen development trajectory remain a material force. These must serve to advance nation building and to accelerate our country's modernization and industrialization for collective prosperity for our people. In this regard, the academia is challenged to rise to the occasion, as did Professor Mourns Bhebhe Wejila. Our late national hero was a highly acclaimed author with numerous books, journal articles, and presentations on diverse themes. Among these were perspectives on national religion and Christianity, African biographies, the nexus between the land question and nationalist struggles, as well as conflict prevention and reconciliation. He wrote an insightful biography on our late Vice President, Vamuzenda, entitled Simon Vengai Muzenda and the Struggle and Liberation of Zimbabwe, 2004. And another biography on the late national hero, Benjamin Burombo. Before that, in 1985, he had published a portrait of the last Ndebele king entitled Lubengula. His numerous writings personified his commitment to enriching the board of knowledge on our liberation struggle. It was therefore befitting that Professor Bhebhe oversaw the Zimbabwean chapter on the SADC Hashimbita project. In this way, the land Professor Bhebhe and his fellow scholars used their skills in reading history to furnish us with an inspiring and a guiding past. We must therefore never shy away from defining our own national narratives concerning our past, our present, and future. As a people and as a country, the descendants of Murumtapa. My fellow monarchs, comrades, and friends, In terms of university administration, Professor Bhebhe served in various portfolios, rising to Pro-Vice Chancellor at the University of Zimbabwe, and ultimately the founding Vice Chancellor of the Milan State University in 1999. When the Milan State University was established, our late president, R.G. Mugabe, said, for the first Vice Chancellor of Milan State University, we have no choice but to appoint Bhebhe. And that was done. With him at the helm, the university was established primarily as a research-led and solution-driven entity. As a way of honoring our late national hero, Professor Bhebhe, I urge the private sector to build synergies with our tertiary institutions of higher learning so they become catalysts for accelerated, sustainable socio-economic and cultural development. Our late national hero will also be remembered for flying our national flag high, following his numerous accolades and recognitions. These include, among others, 1. Zimbabwe's representative on the UNESCO Executive Board. 2. Council member of the Association of Commonwealth Universities. 3. Alternative member of the governing board of the Association of African Universities in Africa. 4. Founding and executive member of the Southern African Regional Universities Association. 5. 5. Founding member and the second chairperson of the Zimbabwe Vice Chancellors Association in Zimbabwe. 6. Country researcher and a member of the management board of the Hashimita Sadiq Liberation Struggle Project. Following his retirement from public service, the late Professor Bhebhe was appointed a member of the ZANU-PF Electoral Supervisory Commission. This was recognition of his consistency and persistence in serving our nation, as well as his integrity, probity, loyalty, and commitment to the ideals of his revolutionary party, ZANU-PF. My dear mourners, comrades and friends, we are privileged that the late national hero, Professor Bhebhe, was a successful builder of mindsets, institutions, and a farmer who unflinchingly contributed to the cause of our nation. Taking a leaf from his illustrious life, I call upon all of us, descendants of the great Munumtapa, to continue playing our part to develop our motherland, Zimbabwe. That is our burden. I commend the various milestones and successes across all sectors we have so far realized through unity, peace, hard, honest work, focus, determination, love, and harmony. This culture must be entrenched going into the future. This is the mindset that the late national hero, Professor Bhebhe, advanced. In concluding, I say to our late national hero, Professor Ngwabi Mourns Bhebhe wechila chena. Fambai zakanaka tumbare. Today we enter you at this sacred national shrine for remembrance and eternal reverence. We lay you next to your comrades and compatriots with whom you shared the nationalist and pan-African ideology and convictions that brought about our independence, freedom, and sovereignty as a people. We shall forever treasure the main memories and the knowledge contained in the rich scholarly work you leave behind. My dear brother Bhebhe, we have done so many things together that only you, me, and a few that have gone ahead of us, and in that team of 4, I will follow soon. Go well, son of the soil, rest in eternal peace, our great historian, intellectual, academic administrator. Zorora murugare, gamba ramagamba, lala mokutula, kawe, gamba kawe, rest in eternal peace, our beloved professor and comrade. God bless you all. God bless Zimbabwe. I thank you.